Some wars are caused because different factions want different things. However, in this conflict, years of war were caused by two factions who wanted the same thing: the Koopa throne. This decades-long conflict of battles, slaughter, and betrayal became known in the Koopa Kingdom as the Wars of Frozen Flames.
Ladies and gentlelords, I'd like to thank you all for joining me here today.
It's not like we had a choice.
Silence, prisoner! We run this council now!
The realm is still recovering from the events of Riverside Park. The losses of Lord Horace Silver, Lord John Tybalt, and Sir Sebald Scales were highly tragic and indeed unnecessary. The realm weeps for their loss.
Thank you, Lord Berwick. My brother was truly the best of all of us.
He's not here to hear you kiss his ass anymore, you know.
In his wake, his grandson Cordray shall inherit the Dukedom of Silver Mountain, who is to become a ward of the Koopa throne. Secondly, for his outstanding loyalty to the realm on the battlefield, Lord Crane shall be granted the earldom to Skyer Vale, as well as the office of Chief Constable of the Black Tower in the wake of Sir Sebald Scales.
Thank you, my lord. Much appreciated. Guess being a slimy, backstabbing weasel has its upsides, huh? Got something to say, Tybalt? Calm yourself, brother. You don't want to lose your head. You've been awfully quiet, Sir Roderick. Got a problem?
Where is my brother? Where's the king?
His Grace is doing just fine, my lord.
I'd like to hear it from the king himself.
As would I.
He's in his room in the Black Tower. Same place he's been for the past 10 months.
Do you plan on releasing him?
Meh, when we feel like it.
Don't you dare lay a finger on him! The fact that you traitors hold the king is the only reason I'm here right now!
Yes, I agree. I'm prepared to rally my forces and storm the Black Tower to free the king myself.
Unless any of you traitors want to join him, I suggest you listen to us!
What are your demands, my lord?
The Duke of Sherbetans shall be returning to the valley soon. We'll decide the king's fate then.
No harm will come to him. You have our word.
Oh, really? Like how you gave Lord Colfax and his men your word before you murdered them all in cold blood?
What's the matter? Did the king's claw fail to protect his king?
Watch your tongue, Sir Torrance. I'm not afraid to take on all you pythons at once.
And then what? Gonna fall in the mud again and cry?
You're lucky you even still have a head.
I assure you, the king has been treated with nothing but kindness. He's had a hot bath, and we gave him milk and cookies for breakfast this morning. I see. Thank you, Lord Ironside. That's good to know.
His Grace is our king, as well as my friend. I promise you, Roderick, once Lord Richard returns, we will all come to a decision, for the good of the realm.
Still pretending you're doing all this for the good of the realm, I see.
Something to say, Auntie?
Don't patronize me. You knew what you were doing when you slew my husband and your men butchered my son.
Perhaps if they chose the correct side, they'd still be alive.
And perhaps the rest of the nobility would like to know about your secret love letters to Lady Haddock, brother.
Forgive me, my lady.
So what do you intend to do with my brother?
Action must be taken soon. Without the king, the realm spiraled into lawlessness. There were stabbings, robberies, tavern brawls, and a valley church burned down yesterday alone. Do you mean to have him deposed?
Of course not. His Grace is an anointed king, placed on the Koopa throne by King Alfred himself. Once Lord Richard has been restored to power, he'll be released.
That's exactly what happened last time. You pythons only rebelled again.
Then perhaps this time, the king will do what's right for the realm.
My lords, urgent news! Lord Richard Koopa just arrived in the valley!
So it begins. begins.
Yo, it's the Duke of Sherbetland! He's back! Lord Richard, we love you! I have your name on my briefs!
Wait, what?
Richard! Over here!
Welcome home, my lord. We're greatly happy you're back.
What's he doing?
Did he just put his hand on the throne? That's treason! Didn't you guys murder a man on the battlefield? Totally different situation. My lords and ladies, 62 years ago, King John's grandfather unwisely usurped the Koopa throne. King Richard Koopa II's true heir was Lord Raymond Casimir, my uncle, the man who made me who I am today. A man who served the realm throughout his entire life. A man who spent his childhood imprisoned in the Black Tower. A man who remained loyal to King John Koopa V and fought at his side in the Bonnenkrout Kingdom. A man who was murdered in cold blood at his own castle, just shy of his 72nd birthday. He was resting and enjoying a cup of mead when the king's men came knocking at his door. King John Koopa VI is unfit to sit the Koopa throne. By the sacred succession laws written by King Alfred Koopa himself, the throne by right belongs to none other than the Duke of Sherbetland, Lord Richard Koopa.
What?
What? What?
How dare you say that about a great and noble king? I always knew there was something up with you!
Do you have a problem with your king, Sir Bennis?
My lord, what do you think you're doing?
You can't just walk in here and proclaim yourself king!
Who's going to stop me? The Koopa throne is mine, by right. The whole realm knows it. I'm not sure this is a good idea, Lord Richard. Since when were you the eldest son of the king? Your father was no more than the second son of Sherbetland. My father was a traitor, there is no doubt about that. But my mother was Lord Casimir's sister. Now that he's gone, the Koopa throne rightfully belongs to me. Is that true? Lord Richard might have a point.
You can't be serious! This man is a usurper!
Sir Roderick is right. He's just using his uncle's death to claim the throne for himself.
Does anybody have a copy of the family tree?
Enough!
Your Grace?
Brother?
Get off my throne. You know, I don't think I will. Get off my throne now! Your grandfather stole the throne. It is not yours to sit. Get off my throne, or my men will burn you alive and torch your castle to the ground! You're unfit to sit the throne. You lost our lands, bankrupted the realm, and plunged us into civil war. You are weak. I am the son of King John Koopa V! My father won the Battle of Flammen Falls and slew the heir to the Bonnenkrout throne! The kingdom is mine! The realm is mine! The people are mine! Are you done with your tantrum, Your Grace?
Escort His Grace back to the Black Tower at once.
No!
What now?
Well, that was certainly something.
Are you feeling all right, my lord?
I'm fine, thank you, Lord Thornton. His Grace's fire breath barely left a scratch.
What about the king? Is he alright?
He was escorted back to the Black Tower kicking and screaming. Our men couldn't get all the way up the stairs, so we moved him to a lower floor.
I see.
I think it's clear he's in no fit condition to run the realm right now. You all saw the way he just attacked Lord Richard. You're the ones who held him in captivity all this time. He saw his closest friends and advisors slain on the battlefield.
We've all lost men in the war. 2 of my brothers perished on the battlefield. You don't see me crying about it.
Yeah, I wait till I return to my castle, and then I start to cry. What makes Lord Richard's claim any better? Last I checked, Prince Blaine was older than Prince Wulfric. That is correct, Sir Tyler. However, my claim stems from Prince Sebald, King Robert's second son. Lord Casimir was the rightful heir to King Richard Koopa II, and the king put his head on a spike.
My brother had nothing to do with that. He'd never do such a thing.
Did you not see the way he behaved out there? He tried to attack Lord Richard. You can't seriously think he's in any fit condition to run the kingdom.
He's not himself right now. He's a kind man with a good heart.
I truly understand your dedication to your brother, Sir Roderick, But the man is a lost cause. He's been given the chance to prove himself multiple times, and it's always led to carnage.
Lord Ironside is correct. John is not fit to rule. I'm doubtful he ever was.
They say a good king must know when to save his strength. How can his grace be expected to rule a realm when he cannot even rule himself?
He may not be perfect, but he's still the king.
Still trying to make up for your own failure to protect your brother?
Leave that out of this, Python.
He's right, Sir Roderick. Your failure to protect your brother has nearly cost him the Koopa throne.
Face it, Roderick. You have lost. Perhaps if you've tried a little harder to protect your brother, you wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I agree. Sir Roderick Solberg shall go down in history as one of the worst King's Claws of all time.
You're one to talk. While your brother fought for our lives, you hid away in your castle and cried.
Someone had to protect the family home.
You surrendered the castle after 2 days. You even soiled yourself in your armor.
He's calling you Sherbetans the Brown! Enough of this tomfoolery! I will not have this in my kingdom!
Calling it your kingdom already? I see you've waited for this moment for a long time.
Shut up, woman! Lady Silver is your aunt, and she has just lost both her husband and son. I think she deserves more respect. Sorry, Auntie.
I appreciate your neutrality, Lord Richard, but I won't change my mind. The king may be a fool and an idiot and have nearly bankrupted the realm, but he's still the king. If you usurp the throne now, who's to say another civil war won't occur 2 generations down the line? The cycle of violence will only continue.
I have a proposition that could perhaps satisfy both parties. Nobody here wants to see John deposed, even after all he's done. However, I think Lord Richard has undeniable evidence that the Koopa throne is his by right. I propose John remains the king, under strict supervision, and doesn't make any decisions without consulting one of us.
I could agree to that.
I suppose that's for the best.
I think we all agree that Lord Richard should be Claw, not Sir Roderick the Useless.
I'm aware of my own failures, thank you, Lord Tusk.
However, when the king dies, Lord Richard should inherit the Koopa throne.
What?
What about the king's children?
No one believes those wicked little crossbreeds are actually his.
The legitimacy has always been questionable. The king and queen have never been all that close.
You seriously think the queen would willingly allow you to disinherit her children?
It's the only way we can end the civil war and bring peace to the Koopa kingdom for good. What do you say?
While I think the king should stay on the throne, Lord Richard's claim to the throne cannot be contested. Conciliation between both sides would bring peace to the realm, after all.
I agree. Sounds like the most wondrous idea, Lord Berwick.
You can't do this! Prince Godwin is the king's true-born son, and the rightful heir to the Koopa throne. I won't allow you to disinherit him.
I admire your loyalty to your brother, Roderick, but what the realm needs right now is stability. Prince Godwin cannot be allowed to ascend the Koopa throne.
I'm afraid I must support this cause.
Lord Russet. No.
I've already lost 2 sons. I'm not going to allow them to keep dying for an empty cause.
I agree too. Brother, are you serious? They killed father! This is the best compromise we're possibly gonna get. We can't keep hitching our wagon to a sinking ship. If this is what it's come to.
Please, Lord Perch. The king's done so much for you. He restored your family to your earldom in the first place.
I love the king. I carried the royal scepter at his coronation. But the writing's on the wall, Sir Roderick. It's over.
Aw, is the mushroom boy feeling a little outnumbered?
Don't worry. I'm sure the history books will add a footnote about your failures. Enough, boys. Sir Roderick, you've served the realm faithfully for years. No one in this room can doubt your honor. For that, you have my respect. But what the realm needs right now is a strong king who can hold the realm together. You and I both know John is not that man.
I understand, Lord Richard, but I will not betray my brother.
Very well. Sir Hakon? You want to execute him, your grace? No. Escort Sir Roderick to his musty with this message for Queen Cinder. This war is not over yet.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Safe travels, Sir Roderick.
The Queen's not going to be happy when she hears about this.
Are you feeling alright, my love?
I've seen better days, to be honest.
I know. I heard about the battle.
We've lost over 1,600 men. My father was slain outside the king's tent, and Harren was killed right in front of me.
I'm so sorry, Corin.
Should have been me, Jane. I should have perished instead of Harren.
Come on now, you don't mean that.
Harren was my father's heir. I've always just been the spare. My father always made sure I was aware of that.
Don't blame yourself, Corin. You did all you could out there.
He died protecting me. I should have been the one protecting him. Now, thanks to me, the future of our house lies in the hands of a 3-year-old. If I'd have been good enough, I would have been able to save him.
Your father and brother died defending the king. They died as heroes, and they'll be remembered as such. Right now, it's important you carry out their legacy and continue to fight for your king, for the future of your house.
You're right. I'll make sure they didn't die in vain.
I know you have it in you, my love.
Thank you, Jane.
Don't mention it. Any word of Roderick, by the way?
I'm afraid not, no. Last I heard, he was captured during the battle.
I see. I hope he's okay.
He'll be fine, my love. Don't worry. He's the king's brother. They wouldn't harm him.
Hello? You may enter.
Lady Silver, urgent news. Sir Roderick Solberg has returned from Bright Valley.
Roderick!
That was good timing.
Hey, what?
I figured you wouldn't be happy.
I knew Lord Richard would steal my son's inheritance the first chance he got. Who does he think he is?
The heir to the throne?
I wasn't asking you.
Sorry, Your Grace.
The council all agreed to make Lord Richard the heir to the throne. We had no choice but to follow their demands.
And what do you have to say about this? Did you not fight for your nephew's claim?
I did everything in my power to stop them, Your Grace.
And how'd you do that? By throwing yourself in the mud?
I hope you're proud of yourself, Mushroom Retainer. Thanks to you, my husband's very life is at risk.
Lord Richard promised no harm would come to the king.
He also promised absolute loyalty. Look how that worked out.
Lord Richard and his bitch wife cannot be allowed to ascend the Koopa throne. He's a traitor to the realm!
And what of the princes? So long as they remain alive, they remain a threat to Richard's claim to the throne.
I promise you, my queen, Lord Richard would not harm the princes. He has more honor than that.
Honor? He stole my husband's throne! He betrayed his kingdom and imprisoned his king in a cold and miserable tower.
I've no doubt Lord Berwick would be his claw. That man dishonorably seized the valley and killed Lord Silver.
Lord Blackfoot speaks the truth. Those pythons are going to pay for the death of my father.
The Queen's right. There's no way Lord Richard will allow the boys to live, especially not if he found out the truth about them.
You keep your mouth shut, Lord Garnet.
Maybe we could try hiding them.
What?
Not now, Theo.
We could change their names, dye their hair, and send them overseas to live as shepherds. Lord Richard wouldn't suspect a thing. Were you injured so badly on the battlefield that you lost the ability to think?
My children were born to be princes. They will not live out their lives herding sheep, you moron.
They don't have to herd sheep. They could be turnip farmers. Do you thrive off of bad ideas, Sir Theodric? Ugh, bozo.
What of their other prisoners?
5 of my brothers were captured at Riverside Park.
And they still have my wife. I bet she's responsible for Sir Sebald's death.
She is Lord Richard's daughter. It wouldn't surprise me if they were still secretly in cahoots.
Perhaps I'll send her father's head when we're finally done with this whole thing.
No! You have tormented that girl enough!
You always gotta spoil my fun.
If Lord Richard thinks he can just snatch away my son's throne, he's got another thing coming. We are raising an army and taking back my husband.
But we don't have a king. Who's there to lead us?
I will.
What?
Is that really a good idea? No offense, but you are a woman.
Do you value your manhood, Lord Colfax?
I mean, All hail Queen Cinder.
Lord Blackfoot, rally your remaining brothers. Lord Goldwood, gather your finest swords. Sir Killian, prepare as much wildfire as you can find.
All will be done, my queen.
What about me? Do I get a cool task?
Go find some mushrooms for tonight's feast. The army needs feeding.
Yes, your grace.
What of me, your grace?
You have done enough. Your embarrassing leadership at Riverside Park is the reason we're in this mess in the first place. You're lucky I don't take your head.
Yes, your grace.
Lord Garnet, send word to Lord Blaine Phoenix. Demand his return immediately. We are going to war.
Now we're talking.
It's truly a sight to behold, isn't it?
For years, I've watched the king uncomfortably rule the realm from it. Never thought I'd be this close to sitting it myself.
I was referring to the paintings.
Oh, they're quite lovely too, I suppose.
You've been waiting for this moment for a long time, haven't you, my lord?
This wasn't something I wanted to do, believe me. I'm not my father.
You never knew your father, did you?
I've heard tales of him. He coveted the throne for years. He believed he'd be a far better ruler than King John Koopa V. He married my mother just to strengthen his claim.
Sounds like quite the character.
He allied himself with schemers and opportunists, and plotted to steal the Koopa throne for himself, for which he foolishly lost his head. If it were up to me, the kingdom would be at peace, and my family and I would live quietly at my castle in Sherbetland.
And yet you find yourself here, closer to the throne than your father could have ever hoped to be. If I may ask, was it worth it?
No matter what happens, the Koopa throne must not fall into the wrong claws.
Richard!
Talissa?
Ah, my lady of Sherbetland.
May I have a moment alone with my husband, my lord?
Of course. I'll leave you two in peace.
What are you doing here? You were supposed to remain in the Frosted Kingdom until the war was over.
What is the meaning of this? You told me you were returning to put things right.
Yes, and that's exactly what I did.
You tried to seize the Koopa throne.
I wouldn't quite phrase it like that.
For years, you have been encouraged to take the throne, and for years you have served the king faithfully. How can you throw all those years of loyalty away like this?
It's my birthright, Talissa.
What of our children?
It's their birthright too. We are the true heirs of King Robert Koopa III. Someone needs to save the kingdom from itself.
If the queen sees them as a threat to her son's throne, she'll have them put to death.
That's exactly why we cannot allow the Koopa throne to pass to her children. If it does, the royal lineage our ancestors worked so hard to maintain would be diminished.
You and I have watched the sunset for nearly 31 years. You know I'll always support you, no matter the cost.
You and the children will always be the most important things in the world to me. Always remember that. But I cannot sit by and allow our king to destroy 400 years of kingship and allow our kingdom to fall into the hands of a wicked, spiteful queen and her monstrous son. Besides, you've always wanted to be queen, have you not?
Oh, now you're just being silly.
Queen Cinder and her forces remain at large in the Craglands. I've no doubt she'll be amassing an army of her own. Once her forces are all taken care of, I promise you, all will be at peace.
Just don't do anything stupid out there, my love.
Mark my words, justice will fall on all those who deserve it.
What the hell couldn't wait until dinner time?
Godwin, my sweet prince, are you hurt?
Do I look hurt to you?
I hear you got into a fight recently. You punched the Earl of Sushell in the nose?
He was asking for it.
My dear boy, the Earl of Sushell is one of the highest-ranking lords in the peerage of the Koopa Kingdom.
I don't care how high-ranking he is. He's a stupid prick.
What could he have possibly said that offended you so much?
He questioned my claim to the Koopa throne. He said the king's not my father.
Oh, I see. Don't worry, my child. The heir of Sushell shall be sharply questioned, so we can learn where he learned such vile rumors.
Rumors? I'm the king's firstborn son. Who does he think he is questioning my claim?
The heir of Seychelles is but a child. I'm sure he meant no harm. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words cannot hurt you.
He's lucky I didn't use a stone to cave his f***ing head in.
You have bigger enemies than the Earl of Seychelles right now. Lord Richard has captured your father, and he is intent on becoming his heir.
What? But I'm his heir, not that frosty
Lord Richard is a cold and brutal man. He's been set on stealing your throne from the moment you were born.
Then tell me why he's still standing.
Your father is a kind and merciful man.
I don't care what my father says. The next time I see Lord Richard, his skull better be on a spike.
Godwin, Lord Richard is a prince of the royal Koopa bloodline. Executing him would unite the entire kingdom against us.
I don't remember asking you. If I wanted a woman's opinion on something, I'd ask you how my hair looks. Now I'm hungry. Prepare my dinner already.
Your Grace, Lord Blaine Phoenix has returned to the Koopa Kingdom.
Excellent news. Arrange a council meeting for tomorrow afternoon. We have much to discuss.
At once, my queen.
Lord Blaine! It's about time you got back.
Lord Blackfoot, the Queen sent word to Kaha City. How the King's Claw wasn't working out so well after all.
We need all the help we can get. Lord Richard's retaken control of the valley.
Well, he won't be holding it for long. When I get my hands on him, I'll melt out his eyeballs and crush his face with my bare hands!
Nice to see you again too, Sir Eric.
It's Lord Eric! Don't make me tell you again!
And what are these guys supposed to be?
Bowden Gundrian mercenaries, my lord. Courtesy of Lord Lofar. The crossbowmen are some of the finest on the continent. Some say they never miss a shot.
Mercenaries? You mean we have to pay for these guys?
They're already paid for, moron. Come, my lord. The Queen awaits.
Wow, what is this place? Huh? The Queen's Council.
Time is running out. Lord Richard holds the valley and my husband. We must move carefully.
I have 2,000 men, plus Lord Lofar's 200 sellswords.
And me!
200 avaricious foot soldiers? Is that all he has?
I assure you, they're some of his finest soldiers, your grace.
With respect, my lord, 200 sellswords won't be enough to defeat Lord Richard.
Lord Garnet's right. He has the forces of Sherbetlands, the Wetlands, and the Skylands on his side.
That won't matter. We have the Royal Army. Those men are far more experienced than a bunch of peasants with pikes.
Do you plan on fighting with them, or will you be hiding in a tavern?
I am not my father. If Lord Richard dares face me, he better be prepared.
What? To chase after you when you run away?
Enough of this childish bickering, both of you! My husband remains a captive of Lord Richard. We need a plan to get him back.
We could try suing for peace. I'll just sit here and be quiet.
The Queen's right. Both my brothers were captured at Riverside Park. I won't give Lord Richard an excuse to take their heads.
Maybe they wouldn't have been captured in the first place if they were of any use to us.
What's this bastard doing here anyway? This council is for people of noble birth.
Our brother is our finest sword. If you wish to maintain our support, you'll treat him with respect.
Very well. Any bright ideas, Lord Blackfoot?
Tristan?
Well, your grace, most of Lord Richard's men marched south to join Lord Berwick's forces at the Riverside Park. Now their entire army remains in the valley, serving their false king.
That leaves Sherbetland open for the taking, does it not?
Indeed it does, my queen.
We'll sack their villages, burn their crops, slaughter their people!
Lord Richard wouldn't even see it coming.
Oh, that's perfect.
Do you wish to invade Sherbetland, then, your grace?
Lord Richard wants to snatch my son's throne from under him? Fine. We'll see how he likes it when we take his home!
Exactly! When he sees we've taken his precious castle, the honorable fool will come running right back into our clutches.
Steal his own castle from under him. I like it.
When I get to that castle of his, I'll find every single one of his men, hang them from the castle walls, and force their wives and children to watch until I kill them too!
Whoa, hold your horses, Sir Eric.
It's Lord Eric now!
What's that? You're a lord now? Sorry, you hadn't mentioned that before.
Marching for the Sherbetans might not be so easy, Your Grace. They're protected by Dimble Wood, and it's especially dangerous to travel through this time of year.
Lord Byrne is correct. They say some men have ventured inside, never to return.
Sounds like the perfect place to set up camp.
Indeed it does. Travel to Dimble Wood, seize every stronghold you can find. Lord Richard will come to you.
Yes, Your Grace.
We won't let you down, my queen.
Provided Lord Blaine doesn't soil himself.
I swear, the next person to compare me to my father is going to lose their head!
Enough! Lord Blaine, please excuse us.
Ah, yes, my queen.
Gee, how's that guy's problem?
Forgive Lord Phoenix. For now, we must focus on other matters. Sir Theodric?
Huh?
Your family commands the largest forces in Grasslands right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. It's kinda between us and the Buckshaws. From my understanding, the Buckshaws are staunch supporters of Lord Richard Koopa.
Exactly! The two of you will raise an army in the Grasslands and make sure they're on our side.
What? We won't let you down, my queen. I'm not sure that's a good idea, Your Grace. Someone needs to be here to protect you.
Sir Killian will protect me.
Him? Don't act too surprised. Please, Your Grace, I'm a soldier, not a commander. I'm not even good at following orders, let alone giving them.
The king, your brother, my husband, remains a prisoner in the valley. If you care at all about him, you will accept this task.
Yes, my queen. Don't worry, Sir Theodric. Your failure of a brother may have failed to protect the king, but that doesn't mean you will. You want to leave my brother's name out of your mouth, pretty boy?
Enough, Theodric. I'm sure Killian meant no harm.
Yes, Your Grace.
You'll march with Lord Byrne to the Mushroom Meadows first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, Your Grace.
Cheer up, Sir Theodric. I'm sure your nephew will be happy to see you again.
James!
Did anyone else hear something?
Yeah, I think I heard it too.
Did one of you guys fart?
Well, don't look at me. I didn't.
There's no shame if you did, Sir Eric.
Are you trying to lose your head today, Colfax?
Or, you know, it was just one of us.
You're all worthless.
What does she think she's doing?
I'm not sure. She seems to like those crystals.
I don't like her. She's weird.
She's not weird. She's just different. I think she's kind of cute.
Are you kidding? She looks like she hasn't combed her hair in years.
Don't you think you're being a little harsh?
She's a freak. I can't believe she gets to marry Hal.
You're just upset you didn't get to marry him.
Whatever.
Thought we'd find you guys here.
Al, Rickon, you're back!
It's great to see you again, brothers.
Likewise, it's been so long. You, my brothers and I are thirsty. Bring on the magma mead.
I hope Karhar City wasn't too boring.
It was fine. Mostly just spent all day training and drinking.
Nothing's changed there then.
How about you guys? How was life in the Frosted Kingdom?
Cold, to say the least. But the Duke of Shiveria was rather welcoming.
Oh yeah? Either of you meet any Shiverian princesses?
Don't be absurd, brother. I'm to be a married man soon.
Besides, the women over there are colder than the weather.
I've missed you, brother.
How about you guys? We heard you and Lord Berwick won the battle in under an hour.
It didn't feel like an hour. The true victory belongs to Tobias. He captured the king almost single-handedly.
No kidding!
It was no big task. I didn't think his guardsmen would be so eager to die.
At least they died defending their king.
The realm will have a new king soon. and we shall all be princes. Prince Tobias. I like the sound of that. Today is a good day, brothers. Remember it while you can.
Huh?
My lord!
You want to watch where you're going, asshole?
Forgive me, my lord, it was an accident!
I'll have you know this is a very expensive show.
I can always buy you a new one. I'm a lord.
Get a load of this guy.
What are you? Like 15?
16.
No way! What else you from?
House Hawk. We're from the Skylands.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Is there a problem here?
Lord Richard's son.
Get out of here, Princey. This don't concern you.
That hardly seems like an appropriate way to speak to one of my father's loyal subjects. Apologize.
Apologize? He bumped into me.
And it didn't occur to you to move out of the way?
Wolf, we should go.
Can it, Norbert? So you think you're tough now that your father's heir to the throne, huh? Knights like me make quick work of kids like you.
Do you enjoy fighting children? Or have you just not found an adult you can beat in a fight yet?
Huh? Rickon, what the hell is the meaning of this?
Pardon me, father. We were merely practicing training. Isn't that right, Wolfgar?
That's right. The realm is in good hands, my lord.
Why, that's wonderful to hear. Carry on, boys.
Thank you, my lord.
Try not to poke each other in the eye, okay?
Well, keep that in mind.
Let's head to the Grand Goomba. Drinks on me.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, they grow up so fast.
Looks like the future of the realm's in pretty good hands after all. Indeed so. I'm so proud of all of them. My lord, troubling news just arrived from Mushroom Meadows. I see. Unhand me, you savages!
Well, look at what we have here.
Sir Theodric Solberg. I should have known something was afoot.
Watch your tone, Lord Buckshaw. You're speaking to the brother of the king.
Huh, your brother is no true king. His grandfather usurped the throne.
Choose your next words wisely, my lord. They may be your last.
The Koopa throne rightfully belongs to Lord Richard Koopa of Sherbetland. Your brother is no more than a paranoid nutcase, and his queen is a foreign whore!
That's it! Hold him down! You leave me no choice. Any last words?
I will be avenged. Long live the king.
Oh god. No big deal. One more swing will do the trick. The horror! Come off already! Just let me do it for God's sake. See? That wasn't so hard.
Roderick!
Jane, are you alright?
I need to speak with you at once! It's urgent! Wait, what's with the bag?
The Queen's dismissed me of my duties. I'm afraid I'm no longer welcome here.
She can't do that! You're the King's Claw!
Not anymore, Jane. That title belongs to Lord Richard now. I'm a disgrace.
You're being too hard on yourself, Roderick! You guys were overwhelmed! It wasn't your fault! Not even Lord Silver could protect the king from Lord Bordwick's forces!
I failed to fulfill my duty to protect my king, my own brother. There's no place for me left in this kingdom anymore. First chance I get, I'm taking a ship to the seaside kingdom and getting out of here. I think that's for the best.
You can't leave now, Roderick! I need you more than ever right now!
Those silver boys still getting on your nerves?
No, it's James!
James? Is he alright?
I overheard the Queen talking in a council meeting earlier today. They're sending an army to Mushroom Meadows! I need you to travel there and smuggle James out of the castle before anything happens to him!
I'm not sure that's such a good idea, Jane.
What other choice do we have? If Sherbetans take the castle, who knows what they'll do to him?
They'll do him no harm. He's only a boy.
He's the king's nephew. He's still a threat to Lord Richard's claim to the Koopa throne.
Uncle Orwin will protect him.
How do you know he won't just hand him over?
I know he won't. He's a good man with a kind heart.
Please, Roderick. He's my only son. He's all I have. If I lose him, I don't know if I'll even be able to go on.
All right, I'll do it. For you.
Thank you, Roderick. I owe you my life for this.
I promise you, Jane, I'll protect him with my life. Your happiness means the world to me, more than you'll ever know.
Here's something to remember me by.
What's this?
I found it growing in the castle garden. I thought you might like it.
Odd, I've not seen a flower quite like this before.
Guess they must be rare.
It's beautiful, Jane. Thank you. I promise, as soon as this war is over, I'll return with your son and you'll be able to be together again.
Thank you, Roderick. Be careful on the road.
If I may say so, Your Grace, this weather becomes you.
How did you get in here? What happened to the guards?
I told them you wanted to see me. Oh, how I've missed those vicious eyes of yours. Ow! What the hell did I do this time?
Would you care to explain your little tantrum yesterday?
They started it! They refused to listen to my commands! They call me weak.
You are weak.
They compare me to my father! They don't respect me one bit!
You don't get respect by asking for it. You get it by earning it. Do you think my mother cried about her feelings when my useless father was captured by the Count of Rottenstein?
Maybe a little?
No! She raised an army, cut off his head, and earned the right to rule from the Holy Rule Emperor himself. Why should they respect you when you've yet to win a single battle?
I've been training, believe me. When Lord Richard comes to battle, I don't plan on running away. Then everyone will see how strong I truly am.
Listen to yourself, whining about how everyone on the council is mean to you when Lord Richard took your father. Did he take your balls too?
I've done everything for you. I stood up you when you were on the council, showered you with gifts, put my life on the line just to be with you. And this is how you treat me?
Why should I believe you won't just abandon your forces, like your father, before Lord Richard took his head, of course?
Is that all I am to you? Just a pretty face to amuse you when your husband's not around? Who's that?
I invited Sir Killian to my room. We're going to be discussing politics.
Like we used to?
Perhaps so.
I see. Guess I'll be leaving then.
Blaine, wait.
Yes, Your Grace.
Do you love me?
Of course, Your Grace. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you.
Then, if you wish to prove yourself to me, you won't fail me.
All right. I won't let you down.
Something the matter, my lord?
You'd better treat her with respect!
Whatever.
Enter. Father, you wanted to speak with me? Indeed I do. I'd like a word with my son, Sir Hakon. Well, don't mind me, I'm happy listening. Alone? Oh, right, my bad. I hope you and your brother had a good time in Kaha City. We did, thank you. Toby got himself a woman over there. He treated her with respect, I hope. They sounded like they were having a good time. That's my boy. So what's the deal? Is there something important you wanted to tell me? I wanted to speak with you. Things didn't end well when we last spoke. It's fine, Father. Things didn't work out the way they were supposed to anyway. So I've heard. I'm sorry, Robert. I know this girl meant a lot to you. I'd have gone to war with the entire kingdom for her. We'd known each other since I was a boy, back when you served in the Frosted Kingdom. I always had a crush on her back then. I know how hard it is to give up someone you love, Rob. Before your mother, I was betrothed to another lady. Oh, really? What was she like? Her name was Isabel Crane. Our fathers were working together to overthrow the king. We used to stay up late into the night, laugh until we cried, pull pranks on the household nights together. Sounds like you really like this girl, huh? I thought for certain she would be the mother of my children. So what happened? Sadly, it was not meant to be. Our fathers were executed, the marriage was cancelled, and Isabel left for the desert lands to marry one of Lord Blackfoot's loathsome sons. I never saw her again. I'm sorry, Father. I had no idea. You've never mentioned this before. You need not apologize, son. You've proven to be a proud warrior, and more importantly, a good man. And when I sit the Koopa throne, you shall be my heir. Your brother Hal shall receive Sherbetland, Toby will be a great swordsman in his own right, and Rickon? Well, I'm sure there's a library somewhere in the castle. We can only hope he doesn't hate the valley so much over time. I couldn't be more proud of all of you. The king's brother Theodoric has taken control of the grasslands and executed Lord Buckshaw. I plan on sending an army to deal with him, while I take care of the queen's forces myself. I'd like to give you personal command of the army. Me? I'm honored, of course, but I'm not sure I have what it takes. Nonsense. You've already won 2 battles. You've trained with the sword since you were 16. I can think of no better choice. Thank you, Father. I'll do my best. Perhaps when I return with Sir Theodoric, we could talk more about what you and this girl got up to. I wouldn't want to offend your mother. I won't let you down, Father. Safe travels, son.
Enter.
This lordling wanted to see you, Your Grace.
Jared?
Greetings, my prince. May I have a moment of your time?
Just call me Rickon. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to thank you for standing up for me earlier.
Don't worry about it. Those guys had it coming. They've always been nothing but brutes.
Yeah, I've always wanted to fight, to avenge my father.
Why don't you then? I'm sure you're old enough. My father began my training when I was merely 8 years old.
Well, I've never really been all that good with a sword.
You can't be that bad.
I accidentally took my last instructor's leg off.
Oh.
Yeah, Lord Berwick wasn't too pleased with me then.
Don't beat yourself up over it. I was awful when I first began training too.
Yeah, right. You're Lord Richard's son. Your father's one of the best swordsmen there is.
Trust me, Jared. You might suck at first, but you'll get better. Believe me, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You just have to learn to use your speed and agility to your advantage.
Like a hawk?
Exactly. And I'm sure once you've mastered your weapon, you'll have made your father proud.
Thanks, Rickon.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Rose?
I'll give you guys a minute.
It's been so long. How have you been?
Could have been worse, I suppose. Feels good to be back in the Koopa Kingdom, though.
Me too. I feared we'd never return. I thought it was really brave of you to stand up for Jared, by the way. He's always been a nervous guy.
He seems nice enough. Besides, it's a prince's responsibility to defend his subjects.
You consider yourself a prince now?
Would you not? My father is to be king, after all.
I like this new side of you, Rickon.
I've missed you, Rose.
I've missed you too. It was lonely in Carhar City without you. They say my father's planning to marry me into the Bonacrout royal family.
I see. Do you not want that? You'd have your own castle, your own servants, and all the books you could possibly desire.
Those princes are conceited snobs. None of them know how to treat a lady. Besides, half of them are inbred.
I mean, it is the 1400s. We're all a little inbred.
I need a man who I know will protect me. One who understands me for who I am.
I see. Anyone you have in mind?
Does that answer your question?
Speak no word of this to your father.
Let's keep this our little secret.
Lord Richard's son Robert marches from the valley with 5,000 men beneath his banner. Our scouts say he's recruited men from the Mushroom Marches. Big deal! When I get my hands on this kid, I'm going to cut him down like butter! Sir Theodoric, the Prince of Sherbetland, is not to be underestimated. They say he's one of the finest warriors of the realm. Some call him the White Wolf. Here's the thing about wolves, Craven. It's Kraden. When they misbehave, they get neutered. When I'm done with this kid, he's gonna go running right back to his father like a good little dog. Your confidence is misplaced. The boy's already fought 2 battles, both of which he was on the winning side. How many battles have you won? I don't see how that's relevant. My sister-in-law knew Robert personally. She said she's never seen a finer swordsman. Some say they even shared a bed together. Well, after tonight, the only person he's gonna be sharing a bed with is me. Excuse me? Enough! I am the king's brother. You'll do as I command. Yes, my lord.
Sir Theodoric's army is 1,000 men larger than ours. Their army primarily consists of grasslanders, as well as Frosted Kingdom mercenaries, courtesy of Lord Kraden Byrne.
So what's the plan, Your Grace? We shall march into the hills during the night, to remain undetected by Theodoric's forces. Then we wait for the army to approach.
You can't be serious. That plan has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. There's no way it'll work.
Sir Theodric is a brash and bull-headed man. We may not be able to defeat him in the field, but if we can lure him into making the first move, victory will be ours.
My troops aren't marching during the night. We need our beauty sleep.
Are you disobeying my command, Lord Hoarfrost? My father is heir to the throne.
Your threats don't faze me, boy. I fought alongside your father in the Frosted Kingdom for years.
I'm getting real tired of the attitude, Lord Hoarfrost. That's no way to address your future king.
He's nothing but a spoiled, impulsive dimwit seeking glory who knows nothing of real war. He wouldn't be half the man his father is if he tried.
Care to say that again, my lord?
Mother?
My lady?
I hope there's nothing treasonous brewing here.
No, not at all, my lady. I was merely trying to educate your son on matters he might not be too familiar with.
Rob's been doing a fine job, my lady. We'll have the grasslands back on our side in no time.
I'd expect nothing less. He's been eager to go to battle since he was a boy. He used to chase the servants around the castle with a wooden sword.
Damn it, Mother, not in front of the troops! Seriously though, what are you doing here? The battlefield's no place for a lady.
I need to inform you of something.
Couldn't you have just sent a messenger?
I thought it would be best you heard from me personally. Your father has marched into Dimble Wood with your brother and Lord Thornton. Queen Cinder's approaching with an army.
I see. I'll send them my prayers.
Your father will be fine, my son. He's fought many battles far greater than this one.
I meant the queen and her army. When father defeats them, they'll be needing them. So how's it feel to be a married man?
We're not married yet, Sir Hakon. The wedding's not for a few weeks.
Chose wisely with Lunala. Her father's one of the wealthiest dukes in the entire kingdom.
I'm aware. She's a really sweet girl. I hope I can be a good husband.
You nervous?
Maybe a little.
Don't worry. I was nervous to marry my wife at first. Now she's carrying an egg.
Congratulations!
Thanks, Hakon. I'm hoping for a son. Would be nice to have something my brother doesn't, for once.
What, like his eye?
Very funny, hairball.
I hope she makes you really happy.
Well, she's maybe really rich.
I say we head to the kitchens and see if we can get some ladies to chill with us.
I'm not sure I should be doing that type of thing anymore.
Hey, you know what they say? What happens at war stays at war. Some of us don't even know if we're going back home.
Quite the gloomy location, don't you think?
The woods are the gateway to Sherbetland. We cannot allow the Queen's army to make it through.
I see. So what's the plan?
We remain in the fortress until backup arrives. I've sent a message to Lord Berwick in the valley requesting reinforcements.
Sounds like a wise strategy, though we are short of supplies. Do you think we've enough food to last through the winter?
Perhaps so, but options are few. I fear the Queen's army may be bigger than we initially anticipated. If we want to ensure victory, we need the numbers.
I've dispatched a message to Thornhill Castle. One of my top captains is bringing 1,000 of our finest men to our aid.
We'll have supper prepared for them. They're bound to be hungry when they arrive.
And there is perhaps one other person I believe may be willing to join the Sherbet cause.
Oh, really? And who might that be?
The Earl of Sparkling Waters, Your Grace.
Lord Richard Python? That belligerent fruitcake who constantly gets himself worked up over his lost inheritance?
Yes, Your Grace.
That man hates Lord Berwick and his siblings almost as much as he hates himself. What makes you think he could possibly want to work with us?
He left the Battle of Riverside Park, and the Koopa throne has done him no favors either. If we can get him to switch sides, our combined forces might just be enough to topple the Queen's army.
You rarely think he'd be willing to work with us.
Lord Richard is my cousin. We are bound by blood. If we simply extend the olive branch to him, I'm sure we'd be able to persuade him to come to our side.
All right, we'll negotiate. Send a messenger to the Waterlands.
We'll see to it at once, my lord.
And forgive me, Lord Thornton. I was unwise not to trust you.
Thank you, Lord Richard. I always knew if you and I got to know each other, we'd eventually become good friends.
Perhaps my family ought to visit you in the Pipelands sometime. I'm sure one of my daughters would get along well with your Alice.
It would be my honor, Lord Richard.
Here they come.
There's no way this'll work. He's leading us right into a trap.
Have faith, Lord Hoarfrost. My son knows what he's doing.
If he doesn't act soon, I'm taking my men and I'm marching straight back to the Vanilla Dome.
You'll do no such thing.
Their troops are in sight. They're falling right into my trap. Their force seems unusually small, my lord. Don't you think they could be leading us into a trap? Don't be a fool, Caden. They'll be telling tales of our victory today. Mark my words. What was that? Sounds like victory to me. My lord, look! Oh, crap!
They did it!
It worked! They actually pulled it off!
That's my boy!
Ah! How are things looking?
Our scouts say the Queen's forces are approaching fast. They have the entire Blackfoot army on their side, as well as Lord Goldwood and Colfax's forces from the Craglines.
I see. And how are the troops?
Growing pretty restless, my lord.
Two of them fought over a barrel of Chocola wine, and one of them was stabbed to death over a leg of mutton.
I feared this would happen. Any news from your brother in the valley?
Reinforcements are coming from Carhar City, my lord.
Wonderful news.
They should arrive in the valley in 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Will the troops last until then, my lord?
If they don't kill each other, perhaps.
Your Grace, Lord Thornton has arrived, along with a guest.
Oh, what did you bring that in here for?
See, I told you this would happen!
Don't let his words bother you so much, Birch.
Lord Python, it's an honor to see you here today.
It better be! I traveled all this way in the freezing rain, and there wasn't even a hot meal prepared!
We've been saving the good food for people who actually matter.
Have some respect, Sir Torrance. The Earl of Sparkling Waters is your cousin, and is considering joining our side.
I trust this multi-tosspot about as much as I trust a coyote around a herd of cows.
All I've ever asked for was my rightful inheritance, and you people have done nothing but treat me like rat droppings in return!
Don't be ridiculous. At least rat droppings are good for throwing at peasants.
Enough! My lords, I'd like to speak with Lord Python in private.
As you wish, my lord.
Milksop?
Nymphomaniac!
I'm sorry about Sir Torrance. He's very defensive of his family.
I'm supposed to be his family, and then look at the way he treats me! What do you care anyway? You're no different than he is.
Excuse me?
Don't deny it! You've always looked down on me!
Lord Python...
Don't Lord Python me now, my lord! Lord Richard Koopa, always looking out for the common man, but the great Duke of Sherbetans never had time for one of old Birch's feasts!
My priorities extend beyond feasts, my lord.
When my father died, you stood right by my cousin Luther and his bitch mother, and allowed them to snatch away my rightful inheritance!
Lord Luthor was my brother-in-law. I couldn't betray him. Surely you understand that.
I wasn't even invited to your wedding! Proud Lady Tulissa couldn't have the rightful heir to a family fortune distracting everyone from her diamond earrings now, could she?
Leave my wife out of it. I assure you she's nothing to do with this.
My son died at the hands of your troops, you know. The least you could have done was at least attend the funeral.
I'm sorry, Burchard. We haven't been fair to you. That much I know is true. But I assure you, if you and your cousins put aside your differences, we can come together and restore this kingdom to its former glory. King John Koopa VI is a tyrant, and his son is even worse. If he ascends the Koopa throne, who knows what he'll do? You and I were both robbed of what was rightfully ours. I understand you perhaps more than most in the realm. The matter of your inheritance is a difficult thing. Lord Berwick is one of my closest allies. But I promise, once I ascend the throne, I'll make sure you receive what's rightfully yours.
Really?
You have my word.
I'll bring 500 men from Sparklewater Castle, as well as 250 pikemen. Expect my return in 2 days.
Thank you, Lord Python. Your support will not go unnoticed. Mark my words.
Thanks, Lord Richard. You're a great man, and you'd make a great king.
I appreciate your kindness, Lord Burchard. When we win the war, I'll have my finest cooks prepare a hot meal in your honor.
I look forward to it!
Lady Tulissa!
Sir Theodric Solberg, you've seen prettier days.
As have you. Exile's not been kind to you, huh?
I'll have your bleeding tongue for that, boy!
Calm yourself, my lord. I'll handle this one.
Yes, you're great.
You'll conduct yourself with grace around my mother. If you have any left, that is. We found him hiding in a bush, while the battle was still going on.
It's called stealth. I was preparing for a surprise attack.
That worked out in your favor, didn't it?
Cut the crap, kid. You have a sword. I have a sword.
We've all got swords. What's your point?
What do you say we settle this man to man? No armies, no horseback, just one-on-one combat.
Huh. Sorry, kid. I don't pick fights I know I'll win. Take our prisoner here to the camps. He could join his brother in the Black Tower when we return to the valley.
At least now I get some rest.
And give him the black pudding for supper.
Oh, come on!
It's a bit early for supper, don't you think, my lord? I may be heir to the throne, but I still have my appetite, Lord Greyford. Mind if I join you? Don't be ridiculous. Take a seat. In all my years, I never thought I'd see you sit the Koopa throne, and yet here we are. Indeed so. Tomorrow could be the greatest victory of our whole lives. Huh, greater than the siege of Norwood Castle? They say you and your musty broke through the barricade with a single head charge. I exaggerate. I recall the Battle of the Green Pearl, where you slew the Count of Kartoffelbon by stabbing him through the eye. Let's hope this battle goes well. Something wrong? I must admit, I've had my concerns about thorns in our army. Lord Thornton, do you not trust him? I can't say he strikes me as the most dependable character. I know Lord Thornton can seem somewhat duplicitous, but he's proven very useful to our cause, and played an instrumental part in flipping Lord Burchard to our side. I'm not sure he's on anyone's side but his own. Perhaps so, but allies are allies, and we need them more than ever right now. Lord Richard, urgent news! The Queen's men have arrived and are heading right for us! I see. Any word of Lord Berwick's reinforcements? Miles away, my lord. They might not arrive until tomorrow. I see. Are we prepared for a siege? I'm not sure. We're low on supplies and some of the troops have started eating the rats. Choices are few. What shall we do, my lord? Fetch me my armor. Tonight, we go to battle.
Ah! Will Lord Richard hurry up already? His men are taking forever!
Have patience, Lord Blaine. Lord Richard's men will come.
You'd better not be planning on deserting us if we lose, Lord Blaine.
I'm not my father! The battle will be won. Mark my words.
Wait! Over there!
Attack!
Perfect.
Ready, men? Fire!
They're using flaming arrows to spook the musties!
I knew that strategy would work!
Stir your fear! Attack! For the Koopa throne! Ah! 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 Ah!
Looks like someone's outnumbered.
Don't worry, my lord. This'll be over fast.
Maybe not so fast!
You okay, Lord Richard? Ha ha! Now this fight seems fair.
Fire!
Bring me Lord Richard!
Ah! Ah! Oh!
Leave those men alone!
Yeah!
Not so fast, Lord Richard. You, how cute. The obedient second son. Would be a shame if anything were to happen to him. Enough of this.
This is for my father!
Wait!
What the hell do you want? I'm in the middle of something here!
Let him go! He's already defeated! A true knight never kills a wounded foe!
Did I ask you, Squire? His father killed my father!
Your father died honorably on the battlefield! I will not stand by and let you harm a prince of the Koopa family!
Well, in that case, you can die too!
Ow!
Any last words?
You are no true knight, Sir Eric. May God have mercy on your soul.
You're going to pay for that!
Not so fast!
Ah! Ah! You okay, Lord Richard?
There's too many of them! We're outnumbered!
Give it up, Lord Richard!
What was that?
Attack!
It's Lord Birchett!
He did it! The son of a bitch did it!
Ah!
What, the biscuits?
They're attacking our men! No! No! Ah! 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 Someone protect our troops!
I'm ending this now! Archers, fire!
Ah! Ah! Lord Richard, get out of here now! Rifled!
Ah! Don't hate the player, Lord Richard. Hate the game.
You'll regret this. Ah! Ah!
Richard! No!
Long live House Blackfoot!
Well, well, well. Look at what we have here.
This is for all the Blackfoots you killed in battle! You're no more a king than the boil on my ass.
Don't worry, my lord. I'll take extra good care of your daughter. Don't worry, Lord Richard. We've got a little gift for you. Tristan?
A crown fit for a king.
Now dance, Frosty! Nice moves, pretty boy!
Enough! Lord Richard Koopa, Duke of Sherbetland. You are hereby charged with rebelling against the rightful king, His Grace John Koopa VI, and trying to usurp the Koopa throne for yourself. I, Lord Blaine Phoenix, Duke of Somerset Plains, sentence you to die. Any last words, Lord Richard?
I took no joy in killing your father, truly. I was merely doing my duty to serve the realm.
If you think that will save you, you're bitterly mistaken.
I don't wish to be saved. I may die today, but my memory will haunt you for the rest of your days. You won this battle through treachery and deception. You'll get your just deserts. Justice will fall on all those who deserve it.
Oh, I'm sorry, my lady. Were you sleeping?
It's okay. I was having a bad dream.
I'm sorry to hear that, my dear. I hope you've been adjusting to life in the valley all right.
I guess.
Don't worry, you won't have to stay here for long. Once Halbert becomes Duke of Sherbetland, you'll have the entire castle to yourself. Halbert told me you love to watch the stars.
He was in my dream too, actually.
Oh, really? What were you dreaming about?
I'd rather not say, my lady.
Please don't be frightened, Lady Lunala. You can always feel comfortable around me.
He was fighting a giant in a haunted forest. The giant slew him beneath a dying tree.
I see. We all have nightmares, my dear. They always end when we open our eyes.
But what if something bad happens to him?
You'll be fine, my dear. Halbert's been a fine warrior since he was a boy. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
Lady Talissa Koopa?
What seems to be the problem, messenger?
My lady, I bring troubling news from Dimblewood.
Why? What's wrong? Is my husband okay?
I think it's better you read this for yourself. So this fancy Bonenkraut squire comes up to me and demands me to hand over my weapon. So I tell him, you want the sword? You're gonna have to take it off me. Let's just say he has a real big scar on his back now. A toast to our fearless leader, Robert Koopa of Sherbetland, for capturing the king's brother and leading our men to victory. To Robert! To Robert! Thanks, Herb. I'd like to raise a toast. Lord Hoarfrost!
Excuse me?
We could not have won the battle without your men. You played a pivotal role in our victory today. To Hoarfrost! To Hoarfrost!
Thank you, Your Grace. That was very kind of you.
Remember today, my fellow troopers. Today, life is good. Now, where were we?
Robert.
Excuse me for 1 second, ladies. Couldn't it wait till tomorrow? We're having a feast over here.
It pains me to be the one to bring you this news, my prince.
What? Why, what happened?
It's your father, Robert.
Father?
He was captured during the Battle of Dimblewood and beheaded by the Queen's men.
No, this cannot be.
I grieve this loss with you, my prince. Your father was a noble man and possessed a kind heart. And he was a good friend.
What about Hal? What does he make of this?
Your brother perished in the battle too. Word has it he was killed by Lord Bane trying to flee the battle.
No. No!
I'm so sorry, Robert.
They'll pay. They'll all pay. Ah! Ah! I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! Ah! Please calm down, my prince. We're going to run out of wine! My father is dead! You think I care if you run out of wine?
Yelling and screaming will not bring your father back, my prince.
You want to say that to me again?
We'll, leave you in peace.
Toby? Let him be, Lily. Now's not the time.
He seems really hurt.
Your father put a lot of work into this alliance. Do not screw this up. Why don't you spend the evening in the courtyard? I'm sure there'll be plenty of handsome knights coming back from the grasslands.
Enter. My sweet Rose. I've been waiting all day to see you.
Rickon, I bring troubling news.
What is it? Those Blackfoots didn't try to hurt you again, did they?
It's your father. And your brother Hal.
No. It cannot be.
I'm so sorry, Rickon.
No! It's impossible!
It's okay to grieve. Your father was a good man. The realm will remember him fondly.
Where's Robert?
I think he's returning home from the grasslands in a few days. Why?
I'm going to join him in battle and take the Queen's head myself.
Lord Richard Python, Earl of Sparkling Waters, your loyalty to the Koopa throne during these troubled times shall not go unnoticed.
Anything to protect the realm, Your Grace!
In the name of my husband, His Grace King John Koopa VI, I hereby restore you to the properties of Riverbank Castle, Seafoam Palace, and Clearwater Chateau.
Yes! Yes!
I also award you the title Warden of the Waterlands, as well as a bride of House Phoenix of your choice.
What the? I didn't agree to this!
Thank you, Your Grace! You won't regret this!
Lord Gaston Thornton, in the name of my husband, I grant you the earldom of Painted Pipeland and all of its lands and incomes.
Thank you, Your Grace. It's my pleasure to be in your service.
Oh, thank the Lord that's over. It's so much colder over here.
Forgive us for not being able to control the weather, Your Grace.
Victory will be ours soon, my queen. Mark my words.
That was an excellent strategy, by the way. I should have known the honorable fool would fall for such a trick. Now, bring me Lord Richard.
I'm sorry, what?
What do you mean, what? Let's see what this usurper has to say for himself, now that he's prisoner in his own castle.
We can bring you what's left of him, perhaps.
Were you dropped on the head, Lord Blackfoot?
Once when I was 7, perhaps.
Did you capture Lord Richard or not?
We did, and then we cut off his head.
You what?
I knew this would happen.
You idiots!
He had it coming! The man was a traitor! He killed my father!
Lord Richard was the most valuable hostage we had. With him gone, his supporters are going to rally behind his heir. And you've just given them the perfect reason to fight.
You said you wanted him dead!
When the war is won, you dumbass! They have my husband! If we had Lord Richard, we could have negotiated.
I'm done negotiating! I want revenge!
Well, I hope you're happy. Your desire for revenge may have cost my son his throne.
We still have a chance to get your husband back, Your Grace. If we best the prince in battle, we can persuade him to hand the king over.
Don't underestimate him so soon. The boy may be young, but he's yet to be defeated on the battlefield.
Get out, all of you! You're f***ing useless!
Someone's having a bad day.
No! Ah!
Mother, I'm cold. Get me another blanket already.
You!
Me?
Fetch your armor. We're going to battle.
It's about time.
Lord Richard was dishonorably betrayed and beheaded on the battlefield. Many of us lost those closest to us too, including my brother. But now is not the time for mourning. The Queen and her forces have seized Sherbetland and are preparing for another fight. Well, I say we make them pay. Let's send the Queen a box containing her husband's head and show her what happens when you mess with us.
We're not executing John, my lord. He played no part in this.
Robert's right. John may be useless, but he's still an anointed king. He's more valuable to us alive.
What about the other hostages we hold? We still have the king's brother. Now's our chance to make them pay.
Not to mention Lord Phoenix's brothers we captured at Riverside Park.
I'm sure losing a couple Blackfoots wouldn't hurt.
We're not executing hostages. What do you suggest we do then, my lord?
I have a suggestion. King John Koopa VI swore to protect and defend the Koopa Kingdom from its greatest enemies, to faithfully serve and protect the people of the realm, to uphold the morals and virtues of a good king, no matter the cost. Lord Richard Koopa was a great man, a noble man, and a prince of the royal Koopa bloodline, and last Friday, the man was unlawfully beheaded alongside over 3,000 men who died loyally serving the crown. King John Koopa VI is no true king. But not all is lost. Lord Richard's son and heir still stands. He bears all the qualities John VI lacks. He is yet to be defeated on the field of battle. He has trained with the sword and lance at the young age of 10. He has the blood of not one, but 2 sons of King Robert Koopa III flowing through his veins. He is the rightful king of the Koopa Kingdom. Robert Koopa, Duke of Sherbetland, I declare thee King Robert Koopa IV. Long live the king!
Long live the king!
Lord Berwick speaks the truth. I misjudged you, Robert, and for that I'm sorry. But hear me now when I say Robert is the true heir to the Koopa throne. Long live the king!
Long live the king!
Brother! Tobias, you have the floor. We fought together at Riverside Park. Brothers, side by side. And though we may not always see eye to eye, I know in my heart Father would have wanted to see you one day sit the Koopa throne. Let me fight at your side once more, and take back what's rightfully ours! Long live the king!
Long live the king!
Don't forget me.
Rickon?
Lord Richard was my father too. Allow me to fight at your side and help you take back our home. Long live the king!
Long live the king! Let's do this for Lord Richard! Everyone! I'm honored and overwhelmingly grateful to serve you as your king. My father was many things. He was proud, noble, kind, and above all else, held a strong sense of justice. But though he may be dead and gone, his legacy will not be forgotten. The Queen and her forces still hold Sherbetland, as well as my father's castle. So I ask of you, my brothers, join me, and together we can defeat the Queen's forces, take back our home, and save this once great kingdom. Who's with me?
Let's hear it for the one true king, King Robert Koopa IV.
Wait a minute. What's that sound? They're cheering for me! Cinder's army must have defeated Lord Richard! Once again, I've saved the kingdom!